A long time ago in a faraway land, nestled between towering dunes and shimmering oases, lay the bustling city of Agrabah. Within its vibrant walls lived a clever young man named Aladdin. He wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth, but he had a heart full of kindness and a spirit that refused to bend. One sweltering afternoon, as the sun beat down on Agrabah's marketplace, Aladdin found himself in desperate need of food. His stomach rumbled louder than the midday call to prayer. He approached a merchant's stall laden with freshly baked bread, hoping to strike a deal. "Say, Mr. Bread Seller, do you have any old bread? I'm starving, honestly." "I swear I'll pay you back." The merchant eyed him shrewdly, a hint of amusement in his eyes. "You always promise, boy, but I've yet to see a coin." The merchant chuckled, shaking his head at Aladdin's endearing persistence. Meanwhile, shrouded in the shadows of a nearby alleyway, a mysterious stranger watched Aladdin with keen interest. The stranger, cloaked in dark robes, his face hidden beneath a wide-brimmed hat, whispered to himself, "This is the one, brave, poor, and easy to guide. He will serve my purposes well." With a sinister smile playing on his lips, the mysterious figure decided to approach the young man. "Greetings, Aladdin," he said, his voice smooth as honeyed wine. "I am merely passing through Agrabah, and I heard tales of your reputation, young man. I believe I can reward you handsomely for your assistance." Intrigued, Aladdin wiped the crumbs off his shirt and asked, "What sort of reward did you have in mind?" The stranger leaned closer, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "I seek to unlock a cave filled with untold treasures, but the entrance is concealed by ancient magic. Only someone with a pure heart can access it, and I believe you possess such a heart, Aladdin." Aladdin hesitated, torn between his desire for riches and a gnawing feeling of unease. "What's the catch?" he asked, his guard remaining high. The stranger chuckled softly. "There is no catch, young man. Simply help me locate the cave and claim the prize as your own. Is that not a fair offer?" Before Aladdin could respond, the stranger pressed on, sensing the young man's internal conflict. "Think of all the good you could do with such wealth, helping the poor, feeding the hungry. It would make your name legendary throughout Agrabah." Aladdin's resolve crumbled like stale bread. The prospect of alleviating the suffering of his fellow citizens, combined with the lure of untold riches, proved too tempting to resist. "All right," he said, a newfound determination in his voice, "lead the way." As the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the desert sands, the mysterious stranger led Aladdin to the outskirts of Agrabah. Suddenly, the stranger halted, turning to face Aladdin with a grave expression. "The cave's entrance is hidden by illusion. I can guide you to its location, but I must bid you farewell at this point. Trust in your pure heart to lead you the rest of the way." Before Aladdin could utter a word, the stranger vanished, leaving him alone in the gathering darkness. Taking a deep breath, Aladdin focused his attention on the task ahead. He walked forward, following his instincts, until the desert around him shimmered and rippled like a mirage. With a final step, the illusion shattered, revealing a breathtaking sight before him. The entrance to the cave gaped open, promising untold wonders within. Inside, the cave was a mesmerizing spectacle. Walls sparkled with gold and jewels, and the air hummed with magical energy. Aladdin stood mesmerized, his eyes wide with awe. "All this treasure," he whispered, unable to fully comprehend the sight before him. As he took another step forward, the ground trembled, and before he could react, boulders rolled down, sealing the entrance. Panic surged through him as he realized he was trapped. "Help!" he cried out, his voice echoing within the cavernous space. Just when his hope began to dwindle, he noticed a small opening at the far end of the cave. Scrambling towards it, he squeezed through the narrow passage and found himself in a small chamber. In the center sat a lamp resting on a pedestal. An inscription on the pedestal read, "Only the worthy may touch the lamp." Hope surged through Aladdin once again. Could this lamp offer him a way out of this predicament? He reached out, his fingers trembling slightly, and touched the lamp. In an instant, the cave shook violently, and from the depths of the lamp, blue smoke began to pour out. The smoke swirled and coalesced, taking the form of a magnificent genie. With a booming voice, the genie cried, "I am the genie of the lamp. By right of the inscription, you have earned my service. You get 3 wishes. Use them wisely, mortal, for I am bound to grant them." Aladdin, still shaken by his narrow escape, rubbed his eyes in disbelief. Did I really escape the cave and find a genie? It feels like a dream. The genie tilted its head, amusement dancing in its glowing eyes. Dreams cannot alter destiny, mortal. State your wish, and I shall grant it. Taking a deep breath to calm his racing thoughts, Aladdin replied, "My first wish is to be set free from this cave." As the genie waved his magic wand, the cave trembled once more, and in a flash, Aladdin found himself back in the familiar surroundings of Agrabah. But something was different. No longer was he the ragged street urchin. He now stood resplendent in fine garments, a symbol of his newfound wealth and status. People passing by stopped and stared, whispering in awe at his transformation, but Aladdin paid them no heed. His eyes were searching the crowd, looking for a glimpse of the mysterious stranger who had led him to the cave. He spotted the man leaning against a nearby wall, observing him with an unreadable expression on his face. With a determined stride, Aladdin approached him, ready to confront him about his true intentions. However, as he drew closer, he noticed something peculiar. The man was dressed in simple robes, devoid of any of the finery one would expect from someone who had just discovered a treasure trove. Moreover, his face, which had been obscured by the shadows of his wide-brimmed hat, now appeared haggard and drawn. "I thought you were supposed to be rich," Aladdin said, his voice laced with suspicion. The man started, as if awakened from a deep slumber. He looked up at Aladdin, his eyes widening in surprise. "Rich? What are you talking about?" he stammered, his voice raspy and unfamiliar. "You led me to the Cave of Wonders. Why?" Aladdin pressed, refusing to be deterred. The man recoiled as if struck, his gaze darting around in panic. "I don't know what you're talking about," he whispered, his voice barely audible. "Please leave me be." And with that, he hurried away, melting into the bustling crowd. Perplexed and uncertain what to make of the man's strange behavior, Aladdin decided to return home. As he walked, his mind raced, trying to piece together the mystery of the man's sudden change of demeanor. Had he been lying about his identity? Was there more to the Cave of Wonders than met the eye? Determined to unravel the truth, Aladdin vowed to find answers, but for now, he needed rest. Upon returning to his humble abode, he collapsed onto his bed, exhaustion pulling at his eyelids. As sleep embraced him, his dreams were filled with visions of the mysterious cave and the enigmatic stranger. Little did he know that a grand adventure was just beginning. With newfound wealth at his command, Aladdin decided to visit the palace and seek an audience with the Sultan, hoping to gain favor and perhaps influence in the kingdom. But unbeknownst to him, danger lurked closer than he could have ever imagined. That night, as Agrabah slept, a sinister presence moved through the shadows. It was the same mysterious stranger, his face concealed behind his hood. His eyes glinted with a cold fire as he crept closer to Aladdin's house. With practiced ease, he slipped inside. The main attraction of the palace was the beautiful Princess Jasmine, renowned for her grace and intelligence. Many princes from neighboring kingdoms had come to seek her hand in marriage, but none had succeeded. Aladdin, unaware of these previous attempts, was captivated by the princess's charm and wit. Days turned into weeks as Aladdin and Jasmine spent countless hours together, exploring the palace gardens and engaging in lively discussions. They discovered a shared love for poetry, and Aladdin, inspired by his affection for her, began writing romantic verses for her. Jasmine, in turn, found herself drawn to Aladdin's humble nature and genuine kindness. She realized that beneath his princely attire lay a man of substance and sincerity. Amidst the splendor of the palace, a bond of love blossomed between Aladdin and Jasmine, defying the boundaries of their different social classes. They knew that their connection went beyond superficial charms or material possessions. Together, they found solace in each other's company, dreaming of a future where love and equality would reign. As the sun set over Agrabah, casting long shadows across the palace grounds, Aladdin and Jasmine strolled hand in hand through the fragrant gardens. The scent of jasmine filled the air, mingling with the sweet melody of nightingales. "Will you marry me?" he asked, his voice echoing in the quiet garden. Jasmine turned to him, her eyes sparkling with tears of joy. "Yes," she whispered, her heart overflowing with love. "I will marry you." And so, under the watchful gaze of the stars, Aladdin and Jasmine pledged their love to each other, promising to face the future together. Their engagement brought immense happiness to the people of Agrabah. For in their union, they saw a reflection of their own hopes for a world where love transcended societal norms. But their happiness was not destined to last forever. In the shadowy depths of the palace, a sinister plot was being hatched, one that threatened to tear their world apart. As the wedding preparations were in full swing, a sense of foreboding hung over Agrabah. Whispers of discontent and unease spread through the city like wildfire. Unbeknownst to the happy couple, danger was lurking at their doorstep, ready to shatter their dreams. The villain, driven by envy and a lust for power, had devised a wicked plan to destroy Aladdin and claim the throne for himself. He had discovered the Cave of Wonders and seized the lamp containing the Genie of the Ring, Aladdin's former captor. With the genie by his side, the villain's power grew exponentially. On the day of the wedding, as the city celebrated with joy and merriment, the villain made his move. Using the Genie of the Ring's powers, he unleashed chaos upon Agrabah, inciting turmoil and spreading fear among the populace. People cowered in their homes as the villain's dark forces took control of the streets. Aladdin, upon learning of the chaos, rushed to Jasmine's side, vowing to protect her and save their kingdom. He knew he had to act swiftly and decisively to restore order and defeat the villain. The final battle between Aladdin and the villain was epic in scope and intensity. With the fate of Agrabah hanging in the balance, Aladdin drew upon his wit, courage, and the support of his loyal friends to confront the darkness that threatened to engulf their world. As the story reaches its climax, themes of good versus evil, love, and loyalty come to the forefront. Will Aladdin succeed in vanquishing the forces of darkness and securing a brighter future for Agrabah and its people? Join us as we delve into the heart of this enchanting tale and discover the ultimate triumph of love and courage in the face of adversity.